So it's been a while, but we're back with another video on Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash only, and we're going to be talking about the new Shibuya DLC that should be releasing come around next week, possibly. I think we'll actually be getting a trailer maybe this week, or they could do the trailer like a few days before the DLC releases, but it'd be really nice if they did a trailer this week. That way people can get some hype going into the week after that, man. But today's anime question is going to be, out of Mei Mei, Choso, and Naobito, let me know who you're the most excited to play with now that we know who's actually coming for the Shibuya DLC. And we actually had one more character teased in this scan that we're going to look at, since we got a V-Jump scan to look at today, man. But if there's anything you might be interested in, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things. And if you want to see more anime game content, make sure to join the Discord pinned in the description. But let's go ahead and look at the scan. Alright, man, so we look at the scan. The first thing we got to talk about is the characters. So the characters that we already have confirmed that we can see from the scan is, of course, we can see Mei Mei is here. We can also see Naobito, which says playable, and we also see Choso that says playable. Now there is one thing that makes people interested, is the fact that we can see Dagon here. Dagon is here, but it doesn't say playable, and this is what makes me worried. And I think there's actually three options of what they could do for this situation with Dagon. The first one is the one that people probably won't like, is the case that he's only a mission boss where you only fight him, kind of like the special grade curse that Itadori and them fought inside the school. I don't think this is what they're going to do. The second option is he could be replacing Mekamaru for this third free DLC, because we're supposed to be getting 3 free characters and we only gotten 2. Dagon could be the third one, and they could wait to do Mekamaru as part of the Shibuya DLC. This could be an option, but I don't know if they would do this with the domain character. And the third option could be that they're planning to do a Shibuya DLC pack Part 2, which is going to include Dagon, and we can also maybe get characters like Haruta and also maybe Mahuraga. So I'm thinking maybe that this is meaning that we're going to get either a second part of the Shibuya DLC. But it's very interesting that they already have him in the story, so I don't know why they wouldn't just put the model in the game already, which has me also thinking that maybe he's just a free character, and there is the chance of them doing that. And with the amount of characters they have from the Shibuya arc, they could do a DLC Pack 2 and a DLC Pack 3, because we still also know that they're fighting Mahito. They could make another version of Suka, and they could also make another version of Geto when he's actually Kinjaku. But when we actually look at the abilities, man, the first one we look at is Choso, and Choso's move is basically like him just shooting out like some blood spikes. Now there's two ways that this move is probably going to work. It either could be him throwing the spikes down where they're just coming directly from the sky, or he also could be shooting them in a forward line where they're coming down in a forward line. So this looks like a pretty interesting move, and it actually says here as well that so this is what I can't really understand. Like, a lot of these translations are a little bit hard to see, but it says right here, even a non-existent technique can deal damage. And I'm wondering if this is one of his other moves, and this is what I predicted when I said that if he uses his flowing scale, that he's going to actually be able to deal damage with all of his attacks. So we're going to actually be able to see what this is whenever we get a trailer, but this move looks pretty interesting. We move over to Naobito, we can actually see that we get, like, with all these characters, we get a little bit like of a shot of maybe like one of their joint attacks, and we can see with Naobito he's using the freezing frame ability that he has, and he's freezing Dagon. And I'm curious how this is going to work, if it's going to be similar to how Toge's Cursed Speech is, where it kind of just pops up on a certain area, or if this is going to be a move that he sends it forward, where it's kind of a little bit more similar to Kamo's his Crimson Binding, which I would actually prefer if it was similar to the Crimson Binding, where you send it forward instead of it just being something that activates on the spot. But one of the key things that we saw with this, of course, it says Speed Attacker, but you can't see it right here, but it says be careful if you activate when your current power is inefficient, you will freeze. So it looks like if Naobito maybe doesn't have enough cursed energy, if he tries to activate this, or maybe if he misses this, he's going to end up freezing himself, which I think is pretty, it's a pretty good way to make sure this isn't too powerful, because freezing somebody just leaves you vulnerable for maybe getting hit with a Fuga, or just getting hit with something extremely powerful, even an ultimate. So Naobito is definitely one of the characters that I'm the most excited to play with, because just being able to freeze somebody is actually kind of crazy. When we look at Mei Mei, the only thing they really showed her, like they say that she has like some defensive and offensive capabilities, but we can see her fighting with the crows. We see her actually slashing down, and then we also see the crow fighting as well. And what we see right here, I can't really tell which character this is, but going off of this lighter slit on the side, it has me thinking that this is maybe Geto, Kinjaku's outfit, where he has the robe. This is a chance that that's who this might be. But as we can see the crows are fighting, it makes me think that Mei Mei is possibly going to be a little bit of a close range and a far range character, where she can hit you with her axe if she's hitting you close range, but maybe she also has other button inputs that allow her crows to attack for her, kind of similar to how Megami uses his Shikigami to attack from a distance. And I think this would be pretty cool, especially if the crows are always out and you just can like mix up your opponent, whether if you want to use the close range or if you want to use the crows. Hopefully the crows only don't just come out whenever you press the button, and it's very predictable. But I think this is pretty cool that they actually have her using her crows. And that's mainly the stuff for the moves, but we do have some more things. Of course, we do know we're going to be getting the picture drama for the Shibuya DLC arc. That's what they call it. And you can see that we are going to see some of the fight between, you know, Choso and Itadori. And we also see that Itadori has the slash, and there's a chance that this could be a new skin for Itadori. Maybe this could also, like, you know, just be like a different, I would like it if they actually made skins that changed the way you look a little bit more. So this could be a new version of, like, you know, Itagori's skin. I don't think they're going to make a whole new character for him, but keep in mind that since he does have the scar, this could be something very different. Now, a lot of people will probably look at this and they think this is just 2 maps, but, you know, since, you know, I know a little bit of this area because, you know, your boy does live in Japan, I actually think this is 5 maps. I think this thing might be confirming 5 maps. I know you might be thinking this is crazy, but this first one right here, we can see right here that this is actually waiting by the train. This is the doors that you use when you're getting on the train, and I think this is also kind of similar to where we've seen Mahito putting people on the train and killing people, and also where Gojo was fighting all of them whenever he killed Hanami. I think this is going to be one map where you actually can fight on the train line, and you actually can go inside the line. This one over here, we move over to Naobito. Oh, and also I didn't say right here, this one up here with Mei Mei, you see those lights right there. This looks like this is inside the tunnel when she was actually fighting Geto. I think this is a map of its own as well, where you're actually fighting inside the tunnel. So this one's by the train line where you can get on the train. This one is actually inside the tunnel. We move over to the next one. This one I think is also, you see the glass in the background. I think this is just the station entrance. So I think this is just a map. This one can probably be like Shibuya Station, but station entrance. And we can see the tunnel. It doesn't really look like you can go inside the tunnel. Maybe you can go in there, but I think this will be a map in its own where you're also fighting like in the lobby, the main part of Shibuya. And I think this is connected to that map as well. When we look at this next one with Choso, I think this is its own map as well. So now we have 4 maps. We have this one, which is 1 up here, which Mei Mei. This one is 2. This one is 3. Our 4th one, I think, is this one right here, where when we actually saw Itadori fight Choso, he was coming down the stairs initially to get into the station. I think this is its own map as well, where they're having the stairs. So I think this one is going to be maybe Shibuya Station stair entrance, where you come down and you can fight here. And the 5th one that you don't actually see on the scan is going to be the Scrabble Crossing map, which is the one that they're using for like the lobbies whenever you get ready to go into online matches with friends. There's no way they're not going to turn this lobby into an actual map, because that would just be completely dropping the ball, bro. But yeah, these are basically the things that we can see from this scan. This almost, you know, kind of a little bit maybe confirms that we'll be getting a Shibuya DLC pack part 2, just because of the fact that they only have like Dagon here, but he's not shown playable on the scan. And I actually looked at some stuff for Dagon to see what he would actually be able to bring. So I know he's definitely going to, you know, be using some water abilities, as we can see that, you know, he can create massive amount of waters easily. And I'm curious if this is going to actually be able to maybe to hinder how much you can move around on the map. I think this would be pretty interesting. We know that he also has his Shikigami, where he can, you know, send out his different fish, and we know that he also has his things whenever he's in his domain, and he has massive amounts of cursed energy. So we know he's probably gonna have some of the highest amount of cursed energy in this game, and they might even have something in it where he doesn't, like, where whenever his moves, it might have it where his moves take less cursed energy to actually activate as the match goes on. And we know we'll be getting his domain if we do get to see them. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see if we actually fight inside his domain in the story mode, man. But that's gonna be everything that we got to break down with the scan today. Let me know in the comments if y'all think I missed anything, and let me know how y'all actually feel about the 5 maps theory that I have, and also the fact that we might be getting multiple packs of the Shibuya DLC. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Y'all know we're going to be covering the DLC whenever this releases, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, so you can see all those videos and be breaking down the characters. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'm going to see you on the next video, man. Yup.